Hi guys, welcome to EduTap. We often say that failures are part of our life. Failure से हम बहुत कुछ सीखते हैं. Failures are stepping stone to success. And there is one person right now with me who basically proves this. So I welcome Mr. Vinayak Langote to our YouTube channel. He has recently cleared NABARD Grade A 2021 exam. So Vinayak, very much congratulations from the entire EduTap team. And what kind of feeling it is, first of all?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your wishes, and it's a great feeling because I've been waiting for this day for a long time, for at least 7 years now. It's been 7 years, 7 painful years, I must say, but it's very relief that I have been selected for such a prestigious organization. I get to work at such a prestigious organization, so it's great feeling, sir.
Yeah. That's really I know. I mean, it's a big feeling when the result comes and the feeling starts to sink in very slowly. And if I count your failures, sorry to say that, but that's the reality. We count Vinayak's failure on fingers. I mean, I think they're 9 to 10. So he appeared for UPSC from 2015 till 2018 3 times. He appeared for RBI Grade B prelims 3 times but could not clear. He appeared for SEBI mains twice but he could not clear mains, and this was, I think, his second attempt in NABARD. So mind blowing. How did you handle that, all those failures, and what was going through your mind when you were encountering so much failures at regular intervals?
There is a consistency. There was a consistency in my failure. I must say that. Yes, sir. And sometimes right now, like yesterday also, I had my PSC interview, Public Services Commission, State Public Services Commission. Until then, I could not realize like what has happened. I have cleared the NABARD exam, and now I'm going to work henceforth. So I was like, earlier I had a habit that this is the exam. Now I have to prepare for the another exam. I wasn't prepared for what if I clear this exam. So for last 2 days, I'm like, now I'm going to work like after these so many failures. And the first and foremost thing that kept me going through all these years, my family. It helped me a lot. It helped me to go through these painful years, and they were waiting. They've been very patient. That helped me going. And another thing is I was always looking for something very to the point, exact source of information, source where I can completely focus on one exam. And I think I got that in EduTap. That's why that is the first and very important. So I would like to thank you very much, EduTap, that helped me to clear this examination. Yes, sir.
My pleasure. Vinayak, when you were preparing for this exam, obviously at times you would have got that feeling that I should give up. Maybe I'm good for nothing. But how did you keep yourself motivated, and was there any stress buster during all those years of hardship?
Yes, the only thing that kept me going is my family. That's it. All credit goes to them. And sometimes, and it is very natural that if you fail at something, you need to have the point to relief where you can go and relive. I found that in 2 things. First, my favorite author, Pula Deshpande in Marathi, and movies. Second thing, and third thing, I like to clean things. If I get very frustrated with something, I just clean. I just go clean everything, like Monica and the Friends. That's it. These are 3 things when I can feel relief.
Yes. So I can understand the importance of your family in your journey. And
yes, sir.
I always say, I mean, families are the most important pillars of a strength.
Yes.
Then Vinayak, what were the learnings that you could take from your failures? UPSC में you were not able to clear 3 times, RBI 3 times. So कुछ learnings थी that helped you clear NABARD? वैसे नहीं भी होती तो after success वो बन जाती हैं सबकी, but there must be some for you.
I have learned over these years and learned over these 7 years, and I have heard many speeches like successful candidates. But out of those speeches, I have seen because I also worked at one of the coaching centers, so I know the reality behind this. So the first thing I've learned over this, just keep it real, man. Just keep it real, okay? Because what happens the successful students tell them that you can do this much only and you'll get succeeded. Okay, so that's not the thing. You have to work hard. आपको मतलब उतना करना ही पड़ेगा, उसके बाद ही you'll be successful. Okay, so the very important thing that I've learned over these years is when it comes to MCQs, you have to have practice. You have to have practice, conceptual clarity. Then and then only you can this tackle these MCQs. First thing, and about the descriptive, conceptual clarity helps you a lot. Another most important thing, newspaper reading, because you have to have your independent opinion. Okay, because in descriptive questions, this year's descriptive paper was comparatively easy because I was preparing for UPSC. I thought it was comparatively easy, but you need to make some unique points in your answer, because everybody is going to refer the same books, everybody is going to refer the same notes, but something should be standing out in your answer so that that person is going to give you like more marks, and collectively you'll be selected finally.
Exactly. And I like your one point that when we taste success, sometimes we start giving ज्ञान कि हो जाएगा, it's easy, you इतना पढ़ लो, but the reality is कि effort तो लगाना पड़ेगा ही पड़ेगी ही, that's the reality.
Yes sir, yes sir.
और विनायक, आपने RBI भी दिया, SEBI भी दिया, NABARD भी दिया. Was there any specific focus on NABARD, or were you preparing with almost same level of intensity for all the 3 exams, and it is just a coincidence that NABARD happened and RBI or SEBI did not?
Actually, that was the mistake I did last time in year 2020. I was preparing for 3 each exam in 1 year only. But I must say that you have to respect the uniqueness of each and every exam. For RBI, it requires some unique efforts. For SEBI, it requires some unique efforts, and for NABARD. So you have to respect that. You have to check yourself also, what you are good at, whether you are good at that quant and reasoning, or whether you are good at some agriculture, rural development, and make your priorities. So for this NABARD in year 2021, I was completely focused on NABARD only. Because in 2020, I was focused on CB, but unfortunately, I could not clear that examination. And I came to NABARD, like I have very personal relation with NABARD. I consider it as my dream job. I have heard about it a lot. I have talked with some NABARD officials. They told me how efficient organization is this, and I love the concept of efficiency. I love it. So I fell in love with NABARD. That's why I was completely focused on NABARD this year.
Indeed, it is. I have some of my most happiest friends working in NABARD, so I can gauge that how good it is an organization, and they also get a lot of work satisfaction by contributing to the rural prosperity of India. So I think there's no doubt about that.
Yes, sir.
Vinayak, that's good. You focused one exam, but overall, how much time do you put in for NABARD?
Yes, sir.
And this was your second attempt, so maybe this year you would have put in less time. But overall, what do you think is the time that is required for a beginner to start preparing for this exam and crack it? Not just prepare.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Clear it.
Yes, sir. We have to prepare for the 3 whole stages, not for prelims or not just for interview.
Yes.
And ironically, like you just said that this is my second attempt, so I had to prepare less. Ironically, I had to prepare more because I knew what I was lacking in the first attempt. Yes. So I had to work a lot. To be honest, and I'm being honest completely. I'm not just like after the success, I'm making up things. Because I was preparing for NABARD, and NABARD mains was on 16th of November, and my state services mains examination on 4th of December. So and I cleared that too, that mains exam too, and this NABARD mains exam too. So I was preparing for both the examinations, but it had some similarities. So I used to get up around 4:30, and till 10:11 I was preparing for NABARD. So that is the special effort I put in for NABARD. And when it comes to phase 1, and that is very tricky part for every examination, whether it be RBI, SEBI, not for SEBI, but RBI, NABARD, UPSC, NPSC, that phase 1 is very tricky part, very dynamic part. So you have to take care. You're giving enough time for this mandatory subjects, like for NABARD is ESI, ARD, and general awareness. And you shouldn't ignore the qualifying part. You have to keep that balance. So first and foremost thing, I kept in mind clear that I'm going to refer only EduTap material. That's it. That's the first thing I did. I was like, I don't have to refer to other material, because and this is completely honest opinion. I'm not just saying out of like, this is my interview at NABARD at EduTap, that this is enough material. You are giving more than enough material, and also your lecture, you are giving very realistic approach. Like in international relation, there is a realistic theory, realism, very realistic approach. You have to give this much effort, you will get this much output. That's it. That says what I stick to.
That's really good. That's really good. And I'm very humbled to feel or to accept this, that yes, you are being benefited from this. So that's the goal at the end of the day. Yes, we are an organization, we are a business, but if the results will not come, then obviously we are good for nothing. So it's
Yes.
really good to hear that. I think it makes my day. And
Yes.
Vinayak, one more question is, when you are not from ARD background, most of the people
Yes.
in India who are getting selected in NABARD are not from ARD background, but the one question that keeps coming back to us and to the entire student community is, sir, I am not from an ARD background. Can I crack this exam? How can I read ARD? How can I cover ARD? I mean, people are too much fearful of covering, reading, or at least starting, in fact, ARD.
Yes, sir.
So what is your view on that? And what is your message to the aspirants on that?
Let me just introduce myself, and then student will get the answer.
Yes.
After 10th, I have completed my diploma in mechanical engineering. After that, I have completed my BTech in mechanical engineering in year 2015. Then I have completed my post graduation in political science, and I have junior research fellowship like in year net, I think. And today I have been selected for NABARD examinations. Okay, it says a lot. Okay, first thing. And this is the background. And second most important thing is, if you are prepared enough, like whatever education you get, it prepares you for any challenges you want to take up in your life. Okay, this agriculture and rural development is just a challenge. It's just a different subject. Your education has prepared you to educate yourself. That's it. That's the learning you should take from education. That's it. And this agriculture and rural, it's very logical subject. It's nothing you have to like remember everything. There are few topics you have to remember, like in agriculture, diseases, some fertilizers, and those things, or in animal husbandry. But there are very few topics. Logically, you can tackle everything. So let me tell you, like, and I let me assure you, like all these students, that when it comes to agriculture and rural development, you start preparing. You shouldn't just think about it, or you shouldn't just procrastinate when it comes to agriculture and rural development. You should start preparing. You should make your own notes. And again, you should, if you ask me that what notes should you refer, this EduTap's agriculture and rural development notes are excellent quality, of excellent quality. Those notes I've been using for my state services examination, and I've got like around 75% marks in agriculture, and I have referred only those notes. Okay, you can say like it covers everything when it comes to competitive examinations. It's not an advertising of the EduTap material.
Yeah.
It's a quality. It speaks for itself.
Yes, it's very comprehensive, and I think that's the key when you prepare
Yes.
for any competitive examination. You cannot look for one-liners or some summaries. That way, you might get good marks, but ultimately, you don't have to pass the exam. You have to clear the exam by getting into the merit list.
And this amended pattern of NABARD, where in phase 2 there is a descriptive part, like there is a part of conceptual clarity. Like if you look at this fourth question in this ARD paper. It was regarding cross hybrid or something like that question. It takes a little bit guts to attempt that question with some perfection.
Yes.
And I think EduTap covers all that. Yes.
Vinayak, my next question is, you are not from you are from a UPSC background. So
Yes, sir.
tell me honestly, to what extent being from a UPSC background helped you in NABARD? I think mostly in descriptive, but and otherwise also. Now this is a common query from many non-UPSC aspirants. can they clear NABARD? Obviously, many would have cleared this year also.
Yes.
But what is the key? If you're from a non-UPSC background, how can you compete with UPSC ones?
If someone's from not from UPSC background, again, my core is same. Like, whatever education that you're from arts, humanities, or commerce, then there's some part in education which prepares you for any kind of subjects. Okay,
Yes.
What education gives you is a capacity to comprehend new things. I believe in that thing.
Well said.
Okay, if you are in commerce background or you are in humanities, there is a subject matter is something else, but there is subject matter for every branch, and there is concept called education. Educate your mind. Okay, so don't worry if you are not from UPSC background, then don't worry. You can practice. You can practice. If someone from UPSC background, it takes around, let's say, 2 months of preparation for descriptive answers. It will take you like 3 months. That's it. Nothing more. You're also students. You're also been in this education process for last like 7 or 10 years. Like JK, jitna bhi hoga wo. So like it's nothing to be afraid of. But the key is start preparing. Okay, start preparing, start reading, and at certain point of time you need to start writing. Okay, like start is very important. Start is very important, and many students are afraid of that start.
Very well said. And I can imagine you're giving some really good answers. You would have got good marks in an interview. I'm sure about that. We'll talk about the interview later, Vinayak.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I think more or less we have touched all the aspects of preparation at a holistic level. Now let's delve deep into different areas that are there in our exam, because students would be looking to hear that strategy. सबसे पहले मैं phase 1 की बात करूंगा विनायक.
Yes.
So phase 1 this year, the kind of pattern changed. There were merit sections and non-merit sections. So
Yes,
first हम non-merit sections को निपटा लेते हैं, थोड़ा easy रहेगा, ज़्यादा discuss
Yes,
नहीं
sir.
करना है यहाँ पे. So there were basically 5 non-merit sections: computer, decision
Yes,
making, quant, reasoning, and English.
Yes, sir.
So quant or reasoning are little bit tough subjects if you start from the scratch. So how
Yes,
do you
sir.
decide that what amount of effort I have to put in, especially when they are non-merit, and you
Yes,
don't
sir.
know that what is the actual figure that I have to achieve?
Yes.
How did you manage that?
Okay. Strategy for this phase 1 examination is it was pretty clear to me that I've never failed at qualifying papers. It's been clear to me. Okay, so that confidence I had with me when I went to phase 1 exam. So for that quant and reasoning part, I prepared for RBI also, and for SEBI also. There is also quant and reasoning. So prepared for that. For this NABARD examination, I just solved few mock tests. That's it. And also when it comes to reasoning and quant, the most important thing is to choose your questions wisely. You need to choose your battles you want to like fight. Okay, that's it. If you're good at, let's say, ratio and proportion or directions, like find those questions first and solve them. Okay, you should not like confuse yourself. You should not let the exam like occupy your time in puzzles and stuff. Okay, so
Exactly.
don't go for that. Okay, don't go for that. Choose your questions wisely when it comes to reasoning and quant. Okay, and remember, you don't have to score more. You have to score in this mandatory sections, not in qualifying sections. You have to qualify these sections. Okay, the very first thing for computer, I think I watched EduTap's that videos. Okay, that you put on like before exam, like a week before or something like that. I've done that, and also I prepared earlier for this NABARD exam, so I prepared some notes. That's it. And for English, okay, English practice, and Narvesh sir, he's excellent. Okay, his tactics, his conceptual clarity, his best. He's best at that. Okay, I've never seen teacher like that when it comes to English. Best. Okay, I followed him only, and I've been following him since 2020. 2020 for NABARD, that attempt, SEBI, RBI, everywhere. He's the best. I would say you can blindly follow him. Okay, when it comes to that. Okay, that's it. That's my strategy, to believe in EduTap and to believe myself that I'm going to clear this qualifying section. That's it.
Right. And what about decision making? That was something of a bouncer.
Yes.
Bouncer in terms of that there was no syllabus defined and people were worried कि क्या आएगा. We were also not having clarity.
Yes,
तो
sir.
आई थिंक डिसीजन मेकिंग में ज्यादातर क्वेश्चन थोड़े मैनेजमेंट टाइप्स के आए, राइट?
Yes, sir. Yes,
नॉर्मल
sir.
नॉर्मल मैनेजमेंट, डे टू डे मैनेजमेंट. तो कैन
Yes.
यू टेल मी अब अगले साल के लिए, सिंस यू गाइस आर नाउ the stars who have cleared this exam,
Yes, sir.
so from the horse's mouth, if I have to listen, what is the area that one has to prepare for decision making? और क्या वो आरबीआई वाला मैनेजमेंट पढ़ के नाबार्ड का डिसीजन मेकिंग पूरा हो जाएगा या कुछ और पढ़ना पड़ेगा?
I think when it comes to management, this syllabus for all these topics is similar, and I think RBI syllabus. If you cover RBI syllabus, I think it would be enough. But these decision-making questions were very practical in nature. It's very different. It took some of the questions was related to public administration also, and I think for me personally, my UPSC preparation for optional subject political science, it proved to be severe for me, because I also found those questions tricky, very tricky in this NABARD phase 1 examination. But I think this management for RBI and SEBI, I think it would be enough. You just have to apply your brain. That's it. You have to the very key thing in that exam, being calm. Okay, being very calm, because there were like 8 subjects you have to tackle in that period. You need to be very calm. You need to believe your instinct. That's it. That's the key. And you have studied enough. If you are preparing seriously for this examination, I can presume that you have studied enough. Just believe in yourself. That would be my advice.
तो आपने कोई ओवरऑल टारगेट रखा था इस 100 मार्क्स में से जो भी आपके नॉन मेरिट सेक्शंस हैं, that how much you have to get? Because I think scores and cutoffs are still not out for
no sir. Yes.
So how much you are presuming that you would be scoring out of 100 in this merit sections, non-merit sections?
I was pretty sure that I would get 65 to 70. I was pretty clear about that. 65 to 70.
Fine.
Because I'm pretty confident about my English part. I would get 50%, minimum 50% in quant and reasoning for this. And before exam, I was pretty confident about my decision making. But once I saw the questions, that I was a little bit shaken. But I was pretty confident that I would get 65 to 70 in that phase 1 qualifying section.
Great. Now let's discuss about merit sections. I think when we discuss about merit sections of phase 1, we are almost discussing the entire strategy for phase 2 also.
Yes,
except descriptive English and descriptive writing, that I'll touch upon later. तो अभी मैं merit sections की बात करूंगा जो phase 1 में 3 हैं, general awareness, ESI and ARD. And यही आपका जो ARD में NABARD में phase 2 में एक पेपर होता है ESI and ARD, उसमें भी यही syllabus रहता है. So we are going to discuss the entire strategy for ESI, ARD and current affairs, both for phase 1 and phase 2. तो सबसे पहले मैं अगर ESI की बात करूं विनायक, ESI is economics first of all. I mean, if somebody is starting from scratch, obviously it's tough.
Yes.
But NABARD में economics हमें किस लेवल की चाहिए? एक normal डिटेल्ड इकोनॉमिक्स चाहिए जो आरबीआई में यूज होती है, बिकॉज NABARD इज नॉट इकोनॉमिक ओरिएंटेड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. या हमें एग्रीकल्चर रिलेटेड इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़नी है, किस लेवल की चाहिए और एग्जाम में स्टैटिक पोर्शन का कितना वेटेज रहता
है? जब बात स्टैटिक पोर्शन के स्टैटिक का जो प्रोपोर्शन है उसकी बात आती है, आई वुड से इट इज कंसीडर ऑन अ स्केल ऑफ 1 to 10, I would say 3 or 3 to 4 when it comes to static portion. Okay. And for NABARD, you don't have to have very deep knowledge of economics. That's my opinion. If you are preparing for UPSC also simultaneously, then you can answer those questions. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. That's it. Questions regarding Indian economy or questions regarding agronomy, pretty straightforward. But nothing difficult. But that's it. Not very difficult when it comes to study. And that second part.
Any important topics? Any important topics that you would suggest to read in ESI, which are a bit conceptual or are required for basic understand of current affairs?
for that purpose, I would say topic regarding monetary policy, and then comes the RBI, Reserve Bank of India. You need to know that qualitative steps, quantitative measures, then direct measures, indirect measures, that whole idea, then fiscal policy, then budgeting system. That's it. These are like applied part of economics, somewhat applied part of
maybe
economics.
inflation also.
At the very yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And very basic, that is inflation. And for that inflation, you need to know a few topics like the currency. Very basic things regarding currency. For example, currency or that's it. Currency wala chapter. That's pretty. These are four major topics, and I think it covers most of the parts of what economics required for the NABARD phase 1 examination. I think that's it.
ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
और ESI में करंट अफेयर्स, आई थिंक
Yes, sir.
बोथ फेज 1 की बात करें या फेज 2 की बात करें, ऑलमोस्ट स्टैटिक तो कम आता ही है, करंट
Yes,
अफेयर्स
sir.
ज्यादा आते हैं. So
Yes,
what
sir.
was your strategy for current affairs, and what are the areas that one need to prepare in current affairs? सबसे
Yes.
पहले तो मुझे ये बताइए, करंट अफेयर्स कितने महीने के आपने पढ़े थे, because that is the most common question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, with your permission, may I give answer with an example?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, because a lot of students are there, like, who are preparing for me. They were taking guidance from me. Everyone, I recommend that you refer EduTap material. Okay, like I took your permission because it feels like I've been talking a lot about what it comes to.
No. I want to make it clear to our students also. This is not any kind of motion, but I think when even many a times a lot of our students from our courses come, but they don't have say as high a review as what Vinayak is giving. So let me be very honest, but this is the reality, right? I mean, one product is highly satisfying for one and maybe not satisfying for many others also, but that's okay. Vinayak, carry on.
Yes, sir. That's why I said that.
You continue.
With your permission, I would like to say that, because EduTap provides a lot of material, and those are very relevant. That is very relevant material, and I would recommend to the students that you can refer to EduTap material or any material you want, but before going to the examinations, you watch this marathon sessions like conduct on YouTube, EduTap. Is that because you study a lot of things. You need, like, before examination syllabus. Okay, for current affairs, I would recommend, like, first refer to those marathon sessions, and I think for phase 1 or phase 2, last 6 months are very crucial. Very crucial. When it comes to RBI, I won't say that with that much confidence that last 6 months are pretty crucial, and if you have covered those news, I think you can answer almost all the questions, because this news are constant. No news are developed over a period. Just like there are few development take place, the main issue remains constant. And in last 6 months, if you cover seriously last 6 months of current affairs, it pretty much covers all the syllabus, all the current event topics that might be in the examination.
And in ESI, there is a lot of I would say misconceptions है ना, कि बहुत कुछ है, reports हैं, schemes हैं, news है, तो आपने कैसे tackle किया? कौन से आपने देखा कि ये 3 main areas हैं, and I'll work upon this, और 4 main areas हैं, I'll work upon this. How did you categorize the current affairs?
Yes, sir. Yeah, in my first NABARD mains, I was lacking at reports, because I've read all the reports. I did read all the reports, but I couldn't revise it. I couldn't revise the main reports, because earlier NABARD used to ask questions regarding this ASA report and like very common reports, but now they are talking about very specific reports, sometimes very specific reports. So what I did is I list down few reports by RBI, NABARD, like few reports I would say household survey report by NABARD and everything. Okay, all those reports, and those reports are given in very brief manner, very succinct manner on EduTap platform. I read those, I highlighted those, and I revised those. That's it. Again वही बात आती है बाद में कि जो मैंने किया उसी को रिवाइज किया और जो किया वो EduTap का ही किया. That's it. That's it. Because without revision, like you might not recall when it comes to the exam.
Yes, yes. So revision is very important as per
Very important. Yeah.
ये point तो शायद 1000 बार 1000 टॉपर्स बता चुके हैं, 2000
Yes,
बार
sir.
मैं बता चुका हूँ,
Yes, sir.
5000 बार हमारी टीम बता चुकी है. तो if you are still confused के राइट स्ट्रेटेजी क्या होनी चाहिए,
Yes, sir.
कहाँ से भी पढ़े, कैसे भी पढ़े, लेकिन
Yes, sir. Yes,
whatever you have done, revision जरूर करें. Revision is one of the most important part of your preparation.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. And like whatever notes you read, whatever you do, try to write it in your own handwriting. Try to write somewhere, even though you have to type your descriptive paper, you have to write that, because in the exam you remember whatever you have written with your own hands. So try to write something. Try to make your micro notes or something like that. Yes.
And what about schemes, Vinayak?
Schemes have like EduTap provided 3 or 4 reports. Again, I've read from day one. From I think last year in result for 2020 came in February something. From that day, I've started reading those EduTap that full schemes wala book and keep revising it again and again and again. And this referred to marathon sessions.
ठीक है. और ये रिपोर्ट्स और स्कीम्स भी आपने ज्यादातर 6 महीने के ही रेफर किए.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because and again, EduTap started that new initiative that monthly schemes were like document. Okay, for in that month, which schemes were in schemes tab. Okay, so I didn't read thoroughly, but I've just went through. I just scanned through which schemes were in discussion, and then came back to my own source and revised those schemes.
और विनायक, आपने इतना कुछ पढ़ा, इतना कुछ आपने रिटेन कैसे किया? Is the key to make your own notes? That's the key, as per you, for retention.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I as I told you earlier that I used to wake up at 4:30, and first 1 hour or so, I used to revise what I did yesterday. Yeah? And the one important thing I forgot to mention, that whatever you read, whatever you do, whatever you whatever you do, at the end of the day, don't forget to revise it. Just put it in your permanent memory, and so that your brain will be clear for new memory, new information to type. So at the end of the day, I used to revise it, and on the other day, I used to remember, like if I remember that information which I studied yesterday.
Right. And Vinayak, आपने बोला कि आपने notes बनाए. So notes making में a very common problem that students face is कि sir time नहीं है. When we start making our own notes, it is very time consuming.
Yes, sir.
How did you handle that? Is there any very specific formula of making notes, shorthands, which can help you make notes quickly, or it was just like, no, okay, आप second year में थे अपनी preparation में, so it was a bit easy for you to manage your time and you were able to make your notes?
In first attempt, I didn't make any notes.
Okay.
That's one of the mistakes I committed. So in this attempt, from day one, like in February only, I started preparing notes. And most important thing is whatever strategy you are adopting, believe in it. Okay, you can't give excuse that I don't have a time. अरे इतना टाइम होता है. Okay, ये एग्जाम है, यूपीएससी का एग्जाम बहुत ही ब्रॉड रहता है. ये स्पेसिफिक एरिया के लिए you can make time. Okay, because you have left everything else and preparing for this examination. I think you can make your own time for that. You can do that.
So guys, सुन लीजिए, मेहनत करिए, टाइम है, और 4:30 उठकर ही ये चीजें पॉसिबल होंगी if you are specially working. एफर्ट तो मारना पड़ेगा लाइफ में, कुछ पाना है तो एफर्ट मार के ही मिलेगा, ऐसे नहीं मिलेगा.
Yes, sir.
So Vinayak, overall, one student is asking static और current affairs की क्या weightage है. So I think we can say कि अगर objective part को ले लें, तो static ESI में तो बहुत कम आता है, ज्यादा current ही आता है. We can say 75-25. ठीक है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can say that. Yeah.
ठीक है. और आपने कोई स्पेशल मिनिस्ट्रीज भी चूज की थी फॉर रिपोर्ट्स एंड स्कीम्स की? नहीं मिनिस्ट्रीज या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की मैं रिपोर्ट्स या स्कीम्स पढ़ूंगा और इट वाज लाइक करना ही है, सब कुछ करना है प्रीवियस 6 months,
Yes.
जो भी है.
First, most important, this is Ministry of Agriculture. That is very important. Then Ministry of Environment, another ministry. So it was my priority that I was going to prioritize these schemes related to these ministries, and the more revision will be for these schemes, and other were also on my priority, but after these ministries.
तो विनायक, नाबार्ड में ज्यादा रिपोर्ट्स आती हैं या स्कीम्स आती हैं?
Schemes. Yes, in my opinion, schemes are more important. Yes.
और वो भी आई थिंक ज्यादा हम देखें तो रूरल सेक्टर से रिलेटेड, एग्रीकल्चर से रिलेटेड वही ज्यादा पूछते हैं.
Yes sir.
तो
yes sir.
गाइस आप वहां पे फोकस कर सकते हैं.
Yes sir. And also I would like to make one point, like students are afraid that NABARD ऐसे क्वेश्चंस पूछती है कि ये मिनिस्ट्री के लिए कितना एलोकेशन दिया, लेकिन इसके लिए कितना, एक आध दूसरा क्वेश्चन रहता है वो. उसके स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं तो क्यों पढ़ूं मैं, मतलब मेरा होने ही वाला नहीं. You can't start your preparation with such a negative feeling. Like out of 50 questions, one question will be of that nature. I don't say there are not NABARD doesn't ask these kind of questions. They do ask, but one or two questions. So you cannot altogether ignore that subject.
Exactly. That's very well said. It's all about having positive feeling in your mind, and once your target is clear and you're determined, सारे रोड ब्लॉक्स आप हैंडल कर लेते हैं. ठीक है विनायक, अभी एआरडी पे आते हैं जल्दी. एआरडी में अगेन यू आर फ्रॉम अ नॉन एग्री बैकग्राउंड, कुछ तो आपने टेक्निक अप्लाई की होगी बिकॉज आपको 4 साल नहीं थे एआरडी पढ़ने के लिए लाइक अ नॉर्मल ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट. तो आपने क्या टेक्निक अप्लाई की? सारा एडुटैप का सारा नोट्स पढ़ा या उसमें से कुछ प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर्स देके आपने फिल्ट्रेशन टेक्निक लगाई कि ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये कर लेता हूं?
First, I have referred only EduTap material and I have made my own notes for like मैंने एक नोटबुक ही बनाई सिर्फ एग्रीकल्चर और एआरडी के लिए. उसमें मैंने मेरे तरह से नोट्स में EduTap के दिए हुए, अभी रिवाइज भी किए हुए नोट्स. फिर भी मैंने अपने हिसाब से, मुझे जो सूटेबल है उसके हिसाब से मैंने अपना नोट्स बनाया. And also like first, like before looking at the previous year question papers, because I have done that in my last attempt, so I thought my personality or my studying method doesn't suit that technique. So what I did, I've read all the notes of EduTap, I made my own notes, and then I went to the previous year question papers and I revised that part. Like for example, irrigation wala part or soil topic is very important, so I like emphasize on that topic. I myself came up with few questions, what kind of questions NABARD might ask based on previous year questions. It all the thought experiments, sometimes loud thinking, all these techniques I use, which I recommend to the students also. And I experimented with that myself and came up with my own formula, and I just keep revision in my way. But the source is only EduTap. I haven't even touched the other material because this is what I'm going to do and this is what I can revise. So that is the important part, revision, what I can revise.
That's very important to understand the scope and be focused on that, because once we keep on thinking about other sources, keep on changing our sources, then our productivity is almost zero.
Yes.
और विनायक ARD में करंट अफेयर्स में ज्यादा क्या पूछते हैं? और आपने ऑब्वियसली एडुटैप से ही तैयारी की, बट कहाँ पे फोकस किया? ARD करंट अफेयर्स.
ARD में schemes that is very important part, schemes. And then when it comes to schemes, what you can do, you can like compartmentalize. When it comes to scheme, what was the starting year of that scheme? If it's a state rated scheme, then what is the mandate of that scheme? What is the focus area, for whom that scheme is being implemented? And if the scheme is good, for example, PM Fasal Bima Yojana, it was started way back in 2016, but very many modifications were made in that scheme. So what the modifications were made, and which states are implementing that scheme, very compartmentalized way. And schemes was major part of the current affairs for ARD. That is the most important thing.
ठीक है. अगेन स्कीम्स पढ़ते हुए काफी बार कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है विनायक के किसके क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं, कई बार फैक्ट्स आ जाते हैं.
Yes sir.
तो अगेन इज द की रिवीजन, या मतलब बार बार पढ़कर एमसीक्यूज कर आपने उसको किया, या इट वाज लाइक आपको याद हो जाता है? व्हाट इज द की है?
आपको याद हो जाता है, मतलब दैट इज वेरी answers from very talented people, and we are very normal people. So we need to come again, very personalized preparation. I make my own notes, and I made notes in tabular form, like one column for year, name of the scheme, and mandate, and comparative analysis. So for example, regarding crop insurance, every state has their own scheme regarding crop insurance scheme. So what is the difference they have? So I made notes in tabular form and kept revising it, because I knew when I prepare for the schemes, I can use this for any examination. So a very broad objective I had. So I covered all that schemes with my own notes.
ठीक है. So Vinayak, again ARD में static और ESI का क्या weightage रहता है?
Like as compared to ESI, I would say in ARD static has more weightage as compared to ESI. I would say like 40-60 or 50-50. I would go to that extent. So and very important thing regarding, and very interesting thing regarding ARD is, if you have good hold over static, I think you can tackle the current affairs part or the dynamic part. Okay, so I would say you need to have very good grasp over static part of ARD, especially soil and irrigation chapter.
That's very well said. Static नहीं होगा तो current भी नहीं समझ आएगा, और static आता है तो you will be able to handle the current.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है. So Vinayak, that was about ESI and ARD and current affairs. So guys, देखो पढ़ना तो सब कुछ पड़ेगा अगर विनायक भी सुने. 6 महीने का पढ़ना पड़ेगा, और the key is revision के लिए notes और बार-बार पढ़ना पड़ेगा. There is no other way. ठीक है, मतलब एक बार पढ़कर नहीं होगा. So the only challenge that you have in front of you is time. Start early. That is the only solution.
Yes, sir.
विनायक, अभी डिस्क्रिप्टिव इंग्लिश पे आते हैं. डिस्क्रिप्टिव इंग्लिश, चलो डिस्क्रिप्टिव इंग्लिश बाद में डिस्कस करते हैं. I have just 10 minutes more. Yes. We will be little quick. Descriptive writing was again one of the new components introduced this year. Maybe your UPSC experience helped.
Yes, sir.
तो कैसे, मतलब was it a kind of a happy feeling when it was announced that exam is descriptive, 50% descriptive, or it was like, oh no, I have prepared last year and now I have to change my preparation?
I was very happy to hear that NABARD has changed its phase 2 pattern, because I always thought I'm good with writing answers. So for preparation, what I did, I came up with my own questions, and also EduTap started an initiative that they were giving question each day. I used to write answer to that question. I used to analyze it myself. That is the key. And again, when after writing my answer, I used to remove the redundant part of that question, because you need to believe in yourself that you have studied enough. You believe that this is not required, this won't get you marks. Give hard data, and try to make sense of that data. That was my objective. I keep revising it, I keep practicing it, and I kept writing it. And I used to type within a specified time. That's it.
So typing speed is on something more important, and write as many answers as you can, right?
And analyze your answer afterwards, and try to remove redundant part, and try to keep only the data that makes sense.
And according to you, what are the good elements of answer writing?
For like the challenge is try to understand the objective of question. If whether the question is very vague or being very specific, accordingly you need to strategize your answer. In introduction, you need to give the idea, the relevance of that question. In main body part, you need to elaborate whatever that you have given in the introduction, and try to stick to the core of the question. And in conclusion, try to make sense of whatever data that you have mentioned earlier. Don't try to bring some other third-party conclusion in your answer. You need to have some correlation in these 3 parts. The conclusion should be related to body and introduction. The circle should be completed in your conclusion.
Exactly. There should be proper flow. It doesn't matter what you write or what others write. I think what you are writing with your limited knowledge should make sense. Should have enough reasoning included into it, so that the examiner feels that you have justified the answer. And as Vinayak said, understanding the question is very important. Many times when I am checking copies, what I find is the question is another line and student is answering something else. Then examiner is helpless. He can't give more than say 50% marks, whatever is the total marks.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And Vinayak, did you have any plans about the word limit, since there was no formal word limit?
Actually, actually, I don't remember exactly the word limit I put in, but I made sure that like I properly answer the question within limited time, because you know that there are these many questions. You have to answer 4 questions in this limited time period. So within that time period, what I did is try to be very brief, very succinct, very specific. That's it. That's the key, and keep practicing.
Keep practicing. Keep
Yes.
practicing. And the interface is really bad in the exam. So how did you tackle
Yes, sir.
that's one of the major problems.
Yes, sir. So before going to the examination, I earlier attempted SEBI means examination. So I made up my mind earlier that the interface is going to be worse. Okay, so it is going to take like 5 minutes of your whole time. So I like strategized my whole time within like whatever time that has been given minus 5 minutes. So accordingly, I managed earlier only. So give to the examination with your mind that something's bad going to happen when it comes to like this system. So be ready for the worst and hope for the best. That's it. Keep it real. That's it.
और ARD में विनायक एक क्वेश्चन था, I think
Yeah.
that was a mandatory question on cross breeding.
Yes, sir, cross breeding.
So I think that was a bouncer.
Yes.
First of all, there was no option because that was a mandatory question, and that was from core ARD.
Yes.
So what do you think? Is NABARD testing the ability of students in the core ARD when it comes to descriptive writing?
Yes, sir. NABARD was poking a little bit, because in earlier 3 questions, the generalist people could have answered those questions with general knowledge. But regarding crossbreeding, you had to be specific. And in my opinion, or what I did was, again, I read it in EduTap notes, because I was very like I was decided that I'm going to be thorough with those notes. And with that question, I tried to be very specific. NABARD was checking. I understood over there only in 3 questions they were asking generalist question, so they were being specific about this. So I was very specific in the answers. I didn't write anything like I didn't beat around the bush in that question. I think that helped me a lot.
And how many mock tests did you give, Vinayak?
I for phase 1, 15. I remember that that number very specifically because it was my objective. 15 mock tests, and for phase 2, I think 2 or 3 for paper 1, and for English I think I didn't attempt any mock test, but I made my own paper and I wrote. I typed everything within the stipulated time.
And when it comes to now descriptive English.
Yes, sir.
How did you prepare? Did you attempt a full-length mock test for descriptive English, or it was like whatever practice you had done in descriptive writing for ES and ARD that was sufficient?
No, actually, English takes different efforts, so you have to give different efforts, special efforts for that. So what happens with English is students are very focused on essay part only. They tend to neglect précis. Précis can also give you a good marks. So I used to daily write the précis for Hindu editorial, and I have written over 30 précis, over 30 like essays, and a weekly comprehension. That's it. That was my strategy. Keep practicing, analyzing it again, removing redundant part.
And did you prepare any specific topics on essay, or did you had any pre-notion ke is tarah ke essay aayenge and I'll attempt those?
For that, the previous question paper analysis helped a lot, because in last year NABARD was very very unique when it came to the essay topic. They asked something regarding computer influence of computer or something like that. So I was ready for that. I prepared for very specific topics regarding economy, environment, digital currency or something like that. I prepared for that, and also I had some generic quotes, stats regarding these broad topics.
Okay. So when I were short on time, otherwise
yes,
I would definitely love to ask you more on descriptive English.
Yes,
but I think more or less you have answered the strategy. इंटरव्यू पे आते हैं, दैट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट. सो इंटरव्यू में मेनली आपको किस तरह के क्वेश्चन पूछे? एचआर, करंट अफेयर्स या नबार्ड से रिलेटेड, क्या पूछा आपको मेनली?
NABARD takes detailed application form for you, and the interview I think remains restricted to detailed application form. And my resume is quite unique, like engineering and political science. So my whole interview was regarding two things. First, chairman asked me regarding political science, so why not join politics? They asked regarding this, and the rest of the interview was regarding my district. NABARD like publishes this PLP report for every district. Regarding that only, I made few unique points regarding that. They were very interested in that, and you can lead your interview, which I did in my way. I had experience in that way. You can do that. You can like put some key points in your answer so that they will ask question regarding that. So which I did, and I was pretty confident with my preparation regarding PLP report, and they asked that only, and it was pretty good.
That's a very important aspect. The PLP report has data of every report, so
yes sir.
Data of every state. So please read corresponding to your state. आपका इंटरव्यू कितनी देर चला विनायक?
It was around 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
And interview panel cordial था?
Very cordial, sir. Very cordial. They were very like smiling faces and everything. They made me feel very comfortable.
And what according to you are they basically looking for during an interview?
I think they were looking for very serious candidates. Very serious candidate. I mean, because they know that a lot of engineers or people from not from agriculture background are coming to NABARD. They are very aware of that. So they are not asking very specific questions regarding agriculture and rural development. They are checking whether you can make sense out of data, whether you can comprehend the data that you have been given, and whether you are serious about this job, or are you just like giving many exams, and out of this is just one of the exams of many exams. They are checking your seriousness and whether you are eligible, or you are capable to take something different from your background.
Exactly. I love this point. Mostly people को रहता है कि हमसे ये पूछ लेंगे तो हम ये आंसर देंगे, ये देंगे. You need to be at yourself, be aware what a common man is supposed to be aware. That's it. If you don't know something, simply say, sir, I don't know. Maybe I missed this. I'll read about this. That's enough to impress them. चलिए, Vinayak, last 2-3 questions. आपने कोई स्पेशल बुक वगैरह पढ़ी थी NABARD से रिलेटेड?
No sir, nothing sir. Just that's it. Which I've been telling for last hour.
तो आपने I think EduTap का इंटरव्यू कोर्स जो हमारा स्पेशली डिजाइन था वो भी आपने you were part of that, and then you were also part of mock interview. So basically, how did EduTap help you in the last phase of your journey, that is interview?
For this mock interview, they told me that first they boosted my confidence that how I'm very relevant for this job. They told me, and somewhere the lacunas where they told me this is where areas where you need to improve on. That's the mock interview part helped me. And regarding this NABARD's mock interview NABARD's interview initiative, where you have put up videos regarding everything, very specific parts, how to tackle questions regarding your background or ARD and everything. I went through those videos, and it helped me to give sharp focus to my preparation and to eliminate the part which is not necessary, and to keep my preparation very focused.
And any message that you would like to give to the future aspirants for NABARD? मतलब एक एक्सपीरियंस से कुछ हमें लर्निंग होती है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट क्या पढ़ना चाहिए क्या नहीं, बट हमारे एक ओवरऑल एक्सपीरियंस से वी गेट टू लर्न समथिंग. कि लाइफ का जो एक्सपीरियंस होता है उससे आप क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे फ्यूचर एस्पिरेंट्स को, क्योंकि यू आर a kind of a role model for them right now. At this moment they look up to you.
Yes.
So what is your message to them?
I understand there are two types of people over there. One who are starting giving NABARD for the first time, or thinking of NABARD for the first time, and second is they have been preparing for a lot of examinations and now preparing for NABARD. So first I would like to tell something to that part who are preparing for other examinations. first, like try to find your inspiration in yourself. Try to, like, there is like inspiration within you. Atat Deepo Bhava, as Gautam Buddha said. Okay, try to be real with yourself. Just don't console yourself when you fail at something. Don't just beat yourself if you're failed at something. Just like get down, get your head down, and putting your best efforts to that. Okay, that's it. That's, and you can make your own strategy. Okay, this is my own very personalized strategy. I believe in very personalized strategy. You can have your own strategy, devise it carefully, refer to, like, if you want to refer to videos, do that. But at the end of the day, what matters is how you perceive it, how you personalize your strategy. That is the first important thing. And second, the one who are preparing for the first time for NABARD, give like 6 months of your time totally for this examination. Okay, completely forget about everything else. This examination, okay, you have to respect uniqueness of this examination. You have to give your honest efforts for this examination. Like, after, if unfortunately if you fail, don't look back at that and said, I would have, if I had done that, I would have been over there. Okay, so don't give any chance to yourself in future to say that I should have done that. Okay, that's it. That's what I'm saying.
That's a very good message. I think दोनों ही बहुत अच्छे हैं. That is something straight from the heart, I would say, and very practical. So Vinayak, it was really nice talking to you, coming on a channel and sharing your strategy. Now your time is something really costly, and sparing the time for our students is something really appreciative. So I wish you best of luck for your future in NABARD. It's indeed a great organization. I would love to see you grow there and be in touch.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.